want to be wireless? You want to have a wireless one? Okay. Wireless. So welcome to the 2012 Northwest Pinball and Arcade Show. Yeah, go ahead. For the next couple of hours, it's going to be the Jersey Jack Show. And we are very happy to have this first public pinball showing of the game. I've known Jack about 10 years. I met him like a lot of people. I was a customer. I called a fairly new pinball owner, didn't know where to find pinball games, so I found this guy on the internet in 2001. Became a customer, became friends with him, so we invited him last year, and he told everybody about the Wizard of Oz, and he said, you know, this is a great show, great people. He goes, I'm going to have a game for you to give away next year. And he kept his word. If you haven't gotten your tickets, they're $20. We'll give the game away tonight before Jack leaves. And when the game is ready, you'll receive game number 716 shipped to your home in the box, brand new game. So I would like to introduce to you Jersey Jack and the Wizard of Oz Pinball. And by the way, Keith Johnson right here, the software programmer. Give him a hand too.
Okay, that's enough exercise. This is great. I'm wireless. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So no RGB. No RGB. No input is detected on RGB. We got a lot of RGB on this game. So there's plenty of that detected. I made myself a few notes so that I'm not too verbose. And my wife Joanne says I get a lot done if I didn't speak so much. So this evening what I'll do is I'll speak a little bit about the game, about pinball, about all of you, and about the experience it's been this last year or so. And then what we'll do, we'll take some questions, and then we'll play the game. We'll shoot the game, okay? And hopefully Keith is with me here as was announced. We've had a great road trip together this week, at least me. I don't know if his ears are bleeding from listening to me on the drive from LA up. You know, it's kind of difficult sometimes. And then we'll take some questions, we'll play the game, and we'll get out of here because we have a red eye to Chicago this evening. Matt is getting married to Kat tomorrow, so very excited about that. I'll be in Indiana at his wedding. And today for me, you know, when I came here a year ago and you announced that you're starting a new company with a lot of really great people, and you're going to design a pinball machine, okay? Wow. That's kind of a crazy thing, I guess, to say. My personal goal last year when I was here, I guess I'll go up here. Maybe we could shut this thing off for a couple of seconds, or maybe not. Okay. So my goal last year, thank you, Mike. Mike Lorraine, everybody, and his able-bodied assistant, Chris. You know, so last year, my personal goal was to be here this year with the game and unveil it in Seattle, the Emerald City, which was really cool for me. And I had this milestone out there that really all of those days and weeks and months, they passed very quickly. There were some days that I thought would never end, like the song, and then there were some days that just went in a split second. The journey for me has been my reward. But I have to tell you, today, for me, was really a huge reward in watching all the faces of all the people look at this game for the first time. I saw you become like an 8-year-old kid when you looked at the game. And that's the whole point of it. You know, what is pinball to us? And you know, it sounds kind of geeky or nerdy or whatever. Pinball is this, to me, this mechanical action game that's kind of like Mousetrap, Rube Goldberg kind of thing, where the ball interacts with different toys on the playfield, but yet it's challenging. I could master this game if I really get one in with the game. I could really become part of the game. And because it's mechanical and it's a skill game, you know, as good as I might be, somebody could come up and play me and beat me, okay? And it's not a video game, okay? So every time you play it, it is a different game. And as good as you are, sometimes on a rare day, I might actually be Keith playing something. Well, you know, he might tie an arm behind his back or something like that. But that's the lore of what we all know as the silver ball. What I wanted to do in my dream, I never had a dream, let me say this, of owning a pinball company, but I do, and it's awesome. I got to tell you that. But it comes with a lot of different things attached to it. And you know, when I announced I was going to start the company on the 1st of January 2011, the good thing was I didn't know everything. Because if I knew everything, I still would have done it. I might have done a couple things different, but not much. I would have chosen all the same people, the wonderful team that we have that designed this game, a lot of the vendors that got involved, a lot of our resources from all over the world that are involved in making this game become a reality. But what I really want to do, you know, today a lot of people, let me stop that thought for 1 second. Today a lot of people came to me and they thanked me. You know, thank you for doing this is great, this is what pinball needed and everything like that. It feels really strange because we didn't solve a big world problem. You know, and I understand what it is and what it means to us. But being in the moment, you know, I need to thank all of you. That's where really the thanks belongs, because all of you believed in me when I announced this. And you know, what chance does this guy have of making a pinball machine? There's a guy here or somebody there or whatever. And then you start assembling the team, and I put the band back together in a lot of different ways. And then as we rolled along, we created a community of people, which I wanted to get everybody together. People that were interested in the game, people that made deposits on the game. We sold 1,000 games before anybody ever saw or played the game. How many more games will we sell when the game goes out to location and makes hundreds of dollars a week? How many games will we sell when the game hits worldwide? And this theme, if we have this theme, I could have this theme 10 years from now. It's not going to hurt me. 75th anniversary of The Wizard of Oz coming up. It's a theme that appeals to women, men, little boys, little girls, old people, young people, everybody. It's timeless. It's evergreen, okay? We were at E3 earlier this week. Everybody kind of heard that, and it was a big surprise for a lot of people. We kept it really under wraps because I didn't know if we would have a game that I'd be comfortable with presenting at E3, because a mechanical pinball machine doesn't really belong at E3. E3 is this really high-tech gathering of people, gamers that are really hardcore, that want the latest technology, and Nintendo and Sony and Sega and Warner Interactive and all these amazing companies are there spending millions of dollars on booth space, okay? We were invited to be there by my friend and fellow pinhead, really wonderful guy, genius, Jeff Mullen, who's the president and CEO of Dynamics. And they have an E-plate device that's a really new way to pay for things and get rewards. And when he invited us to be in the booth, I said to the guys about 2 months ago, listen, we need to be there. Not can we be there, we need to be there. And you know, 2 months in advance, everybody said, oh, don't worry, we'll be there. Well, a month in advance, they're like, oh boy. 3 weeks in advance, I don't know if we're going to make this. 2 weeks in advance, guys were sleeping in the building. Okay, overnight they came in Memorial Day. Mark Wayner and Jim Thornton and Joe Balser and Keith and all the guys, everybody pulled in. It's a team. And everybody worked really hard, I guess on the first level to make me happy, but really to make all of you happy, because we're kind of all in this together. It sounds kind of cliche or metaphorical. And really why we went to E3 was to introduce this game to millions of new, younger, not that old is bad, younger people, okay, who never saw pinball machines before. And the thing we heard, I want to thank Chase from Game Geek TV, if Chase is around. They were there, a whole bunch of media from around the world covered us. We were busy all day, every day that we were there. There were some pinheads at the show that came and they were tweeting and they were on Facebook and they were on Pinside and RGP and our group and everything, talking about all kinds of crazy things. Activity went crazy. And what I heard more and more from everybody was, I didn't know they still make pinball machines. Wow, look at this. And we took pictures of people. Kevin LaRue came down, one of our customers, another great pinball guy. He came down on his own time, got cameras, interviewed people, and it was amazing to see that response. But today, was, for me, even sweeter, because this is pinball people now. This is now I'm on my home turf. This is me. We created a game. I'm a pinball mechanic before it was electronics technician. So fixing electromechanical pinball machines in 1975 and onward, and then becoming an operator and a distributor, a manufacturer, exporter, importer, all the different things. I write for Replay magazine. My name is Jersey Jack and Replay. Even on the way up here, we stopped and saw Steve White in Portland, right? We went to Ground Control, which was really cool. We saw all the pinball machines up there. Pinball is back. Pinball is coming back. And really, it's not a secret that we're just going to hold, okay? We need to have a game, I believe, that excites new players and excites us and keeps us true to what pinball is. And that's what I believe we created. So this is the platform for another generation of pinball machines that we're going to build. This is the first game. We already worked on the license for the second game. We have other designers that want to be involved with the third game and the fourth game and the fifth game. My goal is to build great machines, not quantity, quality. I said I'm not going to build pinball with a calculator, okay? This is a pinball machine that's not built with a calculator. This is built with passion and love. It's a work of art. It's beautiful, and it's fun, and it's going to work. It's going to have a long warranty. I'm an operator. Guess what? It's going to make money on location. People are going to go up to this game, and when we get Mike to come up with the camera or Chris, we're going to show you, the game has coin slots on it. It also has a bill acceptor commercially, and you can swipe your credit card and your e-plate device, okay? That's what it needs to be. Connected to the internet as well. How would you like a Jersey Jack pinball app that you download and you're connected to the game, and you could say on Facebook, hey, I just played The Wizard of Oz at so-and-so location. And guess what? When the game's connected to the internet, just imagine all of the other things the game's going to do. Now, if I said all this to you a year ago, and I told you all the inserts were going to be RGB lighting that gives Keith 1 billion choices of color, if I told you it's going to have an HD LCD monitor and stereo sound, if I told you it was going to have 7 artists that worked on it, and I told you it cost $2 million to create this game, okay, you would have said I was crazy. But you know what? I am crazy, because the game is right there, okay? What we did was not done alone, as I said. Let me just see, just show of hands, how many people here have ordered a Wizard of Oz? Awesome. Awesome. When we ship some games, I'm gonna be traveling the country. I'm gonna be traveling the earth, and I'm gonna drag my wife with me too. She's gonna have to not do brain surgery a couple days a week. She really doesn't work for brain surgeons. She runs a foot doctor's office. And, you know, but it's a long story. But anyway, and listen, I didn't plant my plants and all that stuff. I've been away from the house a while, and got to do what you got to do. But I'm going to travel around the country and the world unveiling the game. I'll be with guys like Brian Kelly in the basements as we unbox them, and out here and at museums. Anything we can do, whether it's promoting, marketing, charitable, anything. I'm not going to say no. I mean, we just paid for a whole bunch of towels for all those guys to be up at the tournament at Todd McCullough's house right now. I don't even think I'll get a towel, but it cost us $600. So all those guys, the Sharps and all the experts are up there. He said he needed that. We were there for that, okay? Anything that needs to be done. We're going to push pinball right over the hill. The game's going to be on national TV, probably be on Jimmy Fallon's show. You know, people playing games. I mean, pinballsales.com has a customer base that's amazing. 13, 14,000 people. That company sells everything nobody needs, okay? A lot of pinball sales customers. We have a lot of movers and shakers, business people, entertainers. We're going to use the resources of all of that to promote pinball. And now we have the perfect vehicle to do it with. Today also, you know, I just want to thank Chris. Amazing job with the show. I really appreciate it. We had a big reveal plan for this game. You know, I'm all about surprises sometimes, and I wasn't going to show the game. I'll tell you a quick story. So I was going to show the game tonight, and people wrote me, and I didn't want people to drive here for 8 hours, and the game's not here, and everybody knew it was at E3. So I wanted to have the game behind that curtain, and then we were going to go to a video. I didn't know the curtain was a see-through deal, like a nightie. You know, I thought it was a real curtain. And we were going to have Chris had his smoke machine, and we were going to do this whole thing. And then I was going to say, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain kind of thing, and reveal the game. But instead, we did a lot better thing because, you know, people got a longer chance to see the game. You're going to get to play the game, shoot the game. And they sold a lot of raffle tickets to raise money. And, you know, I really want to thank my man here, Jerry Thompson, who's a really good friend. Today's his birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. It's my Uncle Vinny's birthday today in Brooklyn in the old country. He's 89 years old. So Uncle Vinny, happy birthday. It's my dad's brother. You know, it's just a real happy day for me all the way around. I got to say that. So maybe what we'll do, let's go to the game if you come up, and we'll talk about that a little bit. We'll get a camera on the game. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Jack. What's up?
All is good. Anybody have any questions in the meantime while we're doing this? Come up to the mic. I'll answer your question for anybody. Come on up, John, if you got a question. No question is dumb, especially coming from a great designer like you.
We'll get it up.
How heavy is it?
It's heavy.
With Pinball 2000, you know, one of the defects is heavy, and then I pulled my back out permanently.
Right. You know, it's the construction of the game. If we go to it, you know, it's all wood, so there's no MDF or press board. No. It's not over 400 pounds.
Okay.
You know, it's not over 400. I could lift it up. I could lift it up with one hand. So you know. So you know, the back is lighter actually because the back only has an LCD in it. So really, there's nothing here. All the boards are in the body of the game, and really, what we did with the game was we incorporated everything in the theme and the movie in this game, all the elements. So if you follow the cabinet from this side around, you have the beginning of the movie, all the way through the movie, up over the head, back down to the other side, and back when Dorothy gets back to Kansas. So Jerry Vanderstelt, he painted 7 different panels, including the back glass artwork, which is displayed on there. There it is. And a lot of people, actually, when I explained what we were doing with the back glass and the artwork and how is that shown and everything. And what I'm going to do also after, I'm going to show you a couple more animations, which are really cool because, You could put an LCD monitor in a pinball machine, but if you don't spend the money to have the asset, which is the content that goes here, that's going to instruct you, that's going to amuse other players waiting for their turn, to call over people to play the game, you really just put a piece of technology in there that you didn't need. And you know, putting technology into something for the sake of saying you did something technologically advanced might not be a great thing. Sometimes the old things work really well. So the game is a wide body in the Williams style. It incorporates Bally-Williams parts that many of which, have been modified or brought up to Jersey Jack Pinball at this time, and they're proprietary to us. So, you know, an example, if you just hit the flippers and hold them in, you don't hear, okay? You touch the flipper and the ball effortlessly goes up a ramp or hits what you want to hit. I feel more connected to the game, okay? I don't feel a clunky feel, and it was important to us to make a game. And Joe Balser did an amazing job. I mean, the last time he collaborated with Keith, they came up with Simpsons Pinball Party, which is a spectacular game, one of my favorite games. So to bring them both back together was kind of a dream of mine, too. And the game, you'll shoot it. It shoots fast. It doesn't seem slow at all to me. Is it a flow game? Is it stop and go? Is it this? Is it that? You'll see what it is. You know, you'll see what it is. It's not, you know, we're going to please everybody. I don't know. I know that we're going to please a very big part of the pinball community that loves to play pinball, and we're going to please every single person that does not play pinball, because we're going to teach them a new way to play pinball. They might not have to only look at the ball. They're going to be able to look up at the monitor. And I've said it before, unfortunately, you know, younger people, they look down and text and then look up and drive. So they're going to be able to look down at the ball and look up at the screen. And at least nobody's going to crash into a tree, God forbid, when they're playing this game. Okay, they're going to feel a different experience. What I wanted was sensory overload. I want to overstimulate. These guys, most of them are guys at the game at E3. You know, they're hardcore game people. You know, you got to have stuff to get them into it, and they were into it. I mean, it was really great to see that for us. So, you know, what you're seeing right now is some of the shots on the game. When you start the game, you know, there's a loop shot all the way around. You come up to Oz. You have O and Z here. These light up on the real game. The signs light up. This game doesn't have any general illumination lights on it right now. The GIs is something that we have, you know, a patent that's pretty far along. It's something that's very unique and proprietary to us, and we're going to defend it if anybody tries to do anything with it. Harris Wolin is a great patent attorney, and he's a pinball guy, and he's in our company. So, you know, I pay him in shrimp scampi, actually. So he loves Costco shrimp scampi. So it's very economical. We have a very good arrangement. So anyway, you have two upper playfields on the game. You have Munchkin Land here, and you have a spinning house, okay? And you get up there, and the house spins, and I don't know if you come around the other side, you can see what goes on with when the house spins, and you're able to stop it. If I'm able to stop it, you get Dorothy's legs. I'm sorry, Dorothy's legs. That's the legs of the Wicked Witch of the East. I've seen this movie about 700 times, so I'm a little over the top with it. So you have this house, you have the rainbow. Everybody knew we showed something that looked like a poor clown wig, and poor Matt got beat up all over the place, and it wasn't what was going to be on the game. This is what's going to be on the game. So I know I like to tease some people, and sometimes people don't know if I'm, you know, completely truthful. It's the truth. It's just not the whole truth sometimes. Up here, you have the Witch's Castle, where this playfield is. And there's 5 magnets on this game as well. So up here, there's a magnet that captures your ball. If you can see that, it's up here. And there's a flying monkey, a winged monkey. let me get the terminology right for Warner Brothers. There's a winged monkey that comes down, grabs the ball, flies it back up behind this door, locks it behind there, and then you have to get up to the witch's castle. You have to knock this winky guard target down 3 times and get up to the witch's castle. You have to spell rescue. Keith will go over a little bit of the rules if you want, but you know Keith's rules and what he does. You know, we're going to make a game that's fun for the beginner and extremely challenging for the expert player. And you have to get up there and you have this flipper and you have to spell rescue up on top, and then the doors open. You have the witch, if you want to come on this side. So, you know, the central character of this movie is the witch. So it was really important to have her on the playfield. And, you know, when you hit this target, and again, this is not software right now, we're just going through some action. You know, the witch is going to melt, and you see her hat. This plastic's a little bit different on the real game, and there's also some other color LEDs in here. There's 2 magnets in front of the witch, so that when you hit her, she fools around with you. She gives you a really hard time. And there's all custom speech for all of the characters. You know, what we did was Chris Granner is an amazing, amazing guy. He's a real game guy. And he's not just a hired gun who I got to do sounds. We licensed 78 songs that are in this movie, okay? He wrote music, some of which you've heard, much of which you haven't heard. He auditioned all the voice talent, which they've done an amazing script that a lot of us participated in. All of this was approved by Warner Brothers. All of those people went into the studio, they cut the speech, and all of that is incorporated in the game. The game is stereo as well. You're going to be able to connect the game to your audio system in your home if you want, okay? And there's also an audio jack on the front of the game. And we have some friends working on that up in the Boston area that are friends of ours that are pinball people. Matt really created all the toys on this game. Everything from down here, the ruby red flipper slippers, which that was my daughter Jen's idea. She works for the company. She's 25 years old. When she was a little kid, she used to walk around and watch The Wizard of Oz, and she was Dorothy with the basket and the little dog and everything like that. And I'm going to find that videotape and embarrass her with it like she embarrassed me with the picture of me from 1975 fixing pinball machines. So Matt did the slippers. He did the State Fair balloon bumper that I'll come back to. He did these amazing trees, the trumper bumpers that we have. He did the witch. This is not the final witch, so there's another reveal with the witch going on that's going to be a surprise to everybody. He did the Munchkin house. All the laser etchings came from him and Greg. Greg and Matt work really well together. And Matt, you know, started as a customer of mine many years ago. He had Back Alley Creations. A lot of people know who he is. He's a really great pinball guy, and I wanted a younger person involved with us on the team. And we need to teach young people what pinball is and how to construct pinball and what the meaning of that is. So it's great to have him on the team. And we like looking at all his new tattoos that he gets every week and all his piercings and everything he's got. He's really a cool guy. So as we come down here, we also have a spinner. You have the crystal ball. You have a popper that comes there. At the bottom of the game, and maybe you can get an overhead of this, one of my favorite things, and a bunch of us collaborated on this, obviously. You know, I like to nudge the game, being from Brooklyn. I like to push, you know, and when I play, some of my friends said, hey, you're cheating, you know, and I'm not really cheating, you're nudging. So, you know, when you lose your ball, you know, what I wanted was, I wanted a little game beyond the game, and you're actually able to get the ball to come back up out of the top, you know. So you get a little bit extra down there. It's like a little extra candy bar in the middle of the good humor bar. So that's kind of what that's about. And you know, it's the end of the movie kind of thing, and the wizard is leaving with the balloon, and so you're kind of leaving too. On this side we have, yeah. On this side we have Toto, Toto escaping. there's just a lot of things. With 5 flippers on the playfield, we're able to do a lot of different things. There's even some shots, there's some quirky shots that Joe came up with where you can hit this flipper and have this one up, and the ball will go there and you'll get your ball back. There's a lot of fun things. There's a diverter up here, there's a 3-ball lock, there's this diverter, so you're not getting onto Munchkin Land all the time, you're coming down the ramps. Some of it is reminiscent of some other different games, but you know, when designers and creative people get together, they like to use some of their favorite ingredients. You know, if you have a chef that likes to use some things, but in this game, we have a lot of different elements, and we tried to capture what the Wizard of Oz is. On the cabinet construction, the cabinet is all wood. It's all pocket screwed together. If an operator dropped it off a truck, it's not going to come apart. It's kind of crazy, the printing process. If you look at the cabinet in person, and I know pictures have not done this justice, and a lot of people today said to me, the game is amazing in person. Exactly. You know, if you look at the side of a cabinet, it's exactly a playfield. That's basically what it is. So the printing process is something that we have an exclusive agreement with the company that does our printing, and this is what's called direct print. Okay, there's about a $435,000 machine that everything gets printed on, and then it gets coded. So, you know, for an operator to put this game out, the game is going to be very durable because of the coding. If at some time in the future an operator needs a decal or something to do some kind of repair, you know, we'll make those available, but the plan is not to use any kind of decals. Everything is going to be direct print. The playfield is amazing, if I say so, okay? But everybody's told me so, because it brings out all the artwork and detail that Greg Ferris has done on this playfield. Things that he wouldn't have been able to do that weren't possible, subtle things in the playfield that when you look at it really close, these images, you know, that you wouldn't be able to get when you screen something, okay? We're able to get those images. And when you look very close at the playfield, we wanted to have that detail because we're paying him to do it. He's an amazing artist, he's an amazing game guy, and why shouldn't you have it? And the same process is done on the plastic set, on the decal set. Everything is carried through. And we did something on Spooky Pinball Podcast the other day where we kind of outed Chuck for his work and his talent, and all the guys at our cabinet company, Jeff and Shane, the amazing amount of hours they've spent. We also added like another little thing, and I'm all about adding more and more, and the guys think I'm really crazy, which again, I acknowledge I am. So under this apron, this is an apron topper, and under this there's a steel, Joe would tell me the gauge, I don't remember what it is, it's really heavy steel apron, and you know, if you took this apron topper off, you'd still have a steel apron and we could put a decal. And Joe and Greg were ready to do a decal for the top of that. And I said, well, what are you guys doing? You're doing a decal? And they said, yeah, what do you want to do? And I said, I don't want a decal there. Let me think of something else. And I came up with what I call an apron topper. And over here in this area, and you know, this shows the E-plate on this, but in this area, on the limited edition games and the first 1,000 regular games, this will be where your plaque lives. And on this part of the playfield, on the apron topper, this will be where your price card lives. Again, we have the biggest instruction card on the face of the earth on a pinball machine, which is right here. You know, a 26-inch HD LCD Wells Gardner monitor. So we're going to be able to display all kinds of rules, all kinds of suggestions, all kinds of pricing, all kinds of everything. We did some signatures of everybody on the team and in the company that worked on the game, and we did like a West Coast, East Coast thing, because the playfield is kind of divided into good and the bad, but we didn't carry that through with the signatures. So there was no good and bad on the signatures. They were just, and in production, these will be a greenish color, so they're not going to look like graffiti from Brooklyn or anything like that. And then, you know, it's just like when we did the Invisiglass, and I said, well, the logo won't be on there. So now that I said that, a whole bunch of people said to me, I want the white signatures, I don't want the green ones. So I don't know, it's going to be like Burger King used to be. You know, we're going to have to build these games your way. Who wants white rubber? Who wants black rubber? Who wants this? Who wants that? I don't know. I mean, don't take that literal. I'm not doing all that stuff. I probably will, Because what happens is, somebody calls me and makes some kind of sob story and says, "Oh, really? I really want to." Okay, all right, okay, fine. Just don't cry. Okay, you're gonna make me wet. So that's like a really quick walkthrough. There's the wizard. Keith, why don't you come up? And why don't you give it a little bit of your polish of what's what here as well? Because I'm getting tired of talking, which is not really.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing to notice, we have we
Oh,
brought
yeah.
the skate.
Give me that mic. We got a mic? Anybody here named Mike? I know. Hi, everybody.
So to cover a few basics, you can see the scarecrow, the lion, and the tin man on the play field. These are rollover buttons, same as with the Toto outlines here, and these will be lit up in the final version anyway. So what you'll do is you'll spell out the letters every time you roll over. Complete a character, you'll light a lock in our little lock up over here. Light up all 3 characters and lock all 3 balls, and you'll start Emerald City multi-ball. Maybe that's what the animations Jack will show a little bit later. Jack already went over the witch, the Munchkin Land playfield. You'll spell rainbow, and when you light up rainbow, we'll grant you access to the upper playfield. So then you'll loop the playfield over and over and over again, spinning the house. Do it enough times, then the house will land, the legs will come out, and you'll get one of our little Munchkin modes over here. So if you don't get it on the first try, then we'll probably do a Indiana Jones Path of Adventure like thing where you get a little grace period to shoot it back up and try again. What else? Obviously, one of the things that I really like personally is a lot of choices. So with the skill shot, what we did is, the casual player will probably pull the ball back and he'll go into the bumpers and do whatever. Another opportunity is to pull it into one of the Oz lanes up here. And then yet another possibility is to plunge it lightly and bring it to this flipper over here where you can take a whack at the witch. Or, for the truly skillful player, shooting it into that little target over there through the bumpers, which it is possible, trust me, I have done it. And then maybe a couple other surprises. There's a couple ball save opportunities. We're going to have a little round. We're talking about Toto escapes down here. So to complete the Toto letters, then we'll start a little kind of hurry up round where we'll serve the ball back to you. You'll get a certain amount of time to make a shot or 2 shots or whatever. And if you make it in time, great. Toto escapes out of the basket, or he gets out of the witch's castle, or whatever. The ball continues and everything's good. Otherwise, if you take too long, we turn off the flippers and you drain. Likewise, we have a special surprise for when you complete. There's no place like home down here from the bumpers. We have a really fun mode planned for that. As far as other things, you'll need to do the basic things: get Emerald City multi-ball, rescue Dorothy from up here, and once you do, there's like 4 basic things. Then you'll get the opportunity to melt the witch, and that'll be a fun little multi-ball, where it's just you and the witch. Normally during the game, the witch is going to be kind of dark in here. Think like Dracula's coffin, and then she'll pop up and surprise you, and you'll have a little bit of time to dispatch her. And if you do, then she'll go away and say, I'll be back, and do it enough times, and we have a little fireball round that we're going to start with you, and more points that way. So that's a quick run through the rules. The other things, we have the haunted letters up here. That'll just be every time you bump in one of the bumpers, we'll keep spelling this out, and that'll be a little round for increased scoring on ramps or targets or that kind of thing. And the throne room over here, this will be the mystery ward. There's a couple lights on here, like on the witch and on Oz over here. that are just kind of permanently on right now. They'll be fully controlled, as will the lights up on the top row. They will be all fully controlled by me, but just for now, for this demo game, they're just permanently on for now. So that should that's a quick run through what you can expect in the rules, and you know, feel free to ask me any questions as we go on, and I'll throw it back to Jack, I guess.
Thank you, Keith. So I'm pretty happy. You know, I'm pretty happy. I'm having a good time with everything. I just wanted to show the device that's on the front also. This is a MWPAS unit. We have a deal with MWPAS, so we're using exclusively their equipment on our game. And this is something that, again, I unplugged the plug, but you know, it's gonna take a bill, okay? It's also gonna take a credit card. So that's how you're gonna be able to play the game, which I think is pretty important. Getting money into it is probably an important thing. You can have the greatest game, but if people don't have money on them they don't have coins on them to play it, it's going to be difficult. By the time they go see the bartender or whoever they have to see to get coins, it might be a little late to get money out of them. I'm going to show you a couple of animations. You know, I love the iPad thing. We know that. So let me pull a couple of those up. We'll take some questions, and then let's shoot some pinball. Okay? Yeah, so let's see. We'll try not to get, yeah, I know. We'll try not to get my password and some of my other stuff up here, and all my emails, and how many of this I have, and that, you know. So, you know, I get in trouble all the time with this thing. You know, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. So for those that really didn't see some of the things, is this up there? Okay. So here's a show. This is like one of the shows Keith might have been talking about, and this is all strung together. Remember, it's going to be broken up. And I don't know, we'll see how fast this runs. I don't know if there's, okay. That's not going to be the password. So, hang on, we gotta go to the thing here, God almighty. I don't know. Who knows? Live TV. By the way, you know, this whole internet thing, when we were doing our reveal, I said to Jerry, I says, how come you guys, you know, Seattle is one of those places where all the technology is there and all that kind of stuff. How come you guys can't stream this thing on the internet? And I said it seriously, but, you know, I said it kind of like half a joke. And the good thing was they made it happen. Because actually last year, I know that Mike took amazing video, and he's very detail oriented, so I've never seen it. So we'll be right, Mike? I mean, I've never seen it anywhere. I'm on the cutting room floor somewhere. So this year, at least, all of these will be up on the internet, right? Okay, very cool. So let's go back to this. So let's go to the jackpot. And I could pull this one up. And I don't know, I think one of these may have sound. I'll see if I can get some sound going on this, too. And we'll see if it buffers. We'll see if these run okay. We'll show a couple of them. If they don't run so good. Yeah, I don't know how it. No wireless in here? No, huh? Live TV. Who's got wireless? Anybody over here? No? Not happening. Let me go to a shorter one, maybe. This might be too much for it. Let's go to a shorter one. Advanced Yellow Brick Road. Yes. If I give them the iPad, I don't want to part with the iPad. What do you? Yeah, absolutely.
I'm relaying a message.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I can do that. Okay, I can do that. Here's my iPad. I'll just talk. I'll take a couple of questions for a minute or two. Here. There you go. That's an iPad 3, by the way. And my name is on that, so I know where you live. I'll find it with my other Locate Me device, app thing. In the meantime, let's take a question. If anybody, I'm sure nobody has any questions about any of this stuff. Yes? Come up to the microphone, please. State your name, age, rank, serial number, all that kind of stuff.
Is this on? Hey, Keith, this one's for you.
Oh, good, even better.
What kind of wizard mode do you have planned, and will an average player that's not you be able to get there?
What?
Well, there'll be a bunch of surprises. One of them, I
You're the
think,
best.
is the Munchkin multi-ball one for completing the Munchkin rounds. That'll be one of them. I think Melt the Witch will be relatively easy to get to. Kind of think in terms of maybe Destroy the Ring or something like that. You know, that may be slightly easier than that. And there'll be other fun stuff along the way. Certainly, we have plans for the Yellow Brick Road itself, for the haunted scoring. So I think that I think there'll be a number of possibilities. You know, like the rest of my games.
All right,
really.
cool. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. And Jim Shellberg and Gary Flower, two amazing pinball people, very good friends of mine. I really appreciate all you guys do for pinball. You're an amazing resource. And Gary, over here, I can't wait to come back to the UK and have mushy peas and fish and chips with you, driving me around and everything. You guys, I'm going to give you a round of applause. You know, I'm a real kiss-up, but, you know, the truth is, you know, if I like you, I love you. If I don't like you, I still love you. You know, I'm not going to, I can't dwell on a negative. So here's one, I don't know which one this is. This is an Oz Collect bonus. And I picked this one just randomly. There's about 70 of these things that JP DeWin created in Holland. The guy's an amazing guy. Amazing game guy, too. And we're lucky that we have him as part of our team. So this will give you an idea of what's on the screen. You know, you have a dashboard that kind of comes up. And this dashboard, in a way, it's going to be able to show you what's going on as you're collecting rainbow and you're collecting different things.
More like it.
You know, so if I go into some of the assets that we used from the movie that were remastered by JP, this one's Complete Star Toto Escape, right? This is one of the Toto collects. So, you know, to pull that up, wonder what that was. Let's try that again. And you can see Toto looking around down there too. If I go into one of these, I don't think I showed this one before, the Advanced Yellow Brick Road. Oh, something, what's going on here? It doesn't like when I go big screen. This one's a rescue multi-ball jackpot sequence, but these are all kind of woven together. Wireless and all, huh? I don't know about that. I mean, I know it's a lot of data. Give you one more. You know, again, part of it is the ball, which here's the ball. This is on the playfield, right? So this is what we're playing with. We're not playing a video game on that screen. I don't want to play a video game. If I want to play a video game, play a video game. The asset up there is for your instruction, entertainment, but again, as I said, it's for the people that are waiting to play as you'll play 1, play 2, play 3, play 4. It's also to call attention to what the game is, and it's also a big part of what we're what we're doing with the game. Here's one that, huh? What's up with that? Here we go. Anytime. I was on the AV squad when I was like in, I was one of those kids where I was technical always as a little kid. You know, they gave me like tools to play with and all kinds of stuff, I guess. My grandmother did, my mom, because my dad can't knock a nail into the wall. So, you know, he's an accountant, so he doesn't fix anything. He fixes things with checkbooks and stuff. So, where was I going? So anyway, the audio-visual squad. That was a lot of fun as a kid. You know, I used to run the film clip. So that's what I feel like right now. I've come a long way to an iPad to do that. I don't know if you guys could see this actually with the lights here and everything. Maybe we just roll the lights. I'll do a couple of these more and before I put myself to sleep. Okay. Okay, so that's better. I got to think of everything, don't I? No, I'm great. There's again an example of that dashboard where you're going to be able to see what's going on. And you know what? It might be confusing to some of us. There might be too much there. And that's exactly what I wanted. I want there to be too much up there. Because the young people that play the game for the first time, they don't know there's too much up there. Okay? So just like me doing the company, I didn't know how difficult it was. You know, that would be what it is. So if I go to one of these, play it again. Jim, I thought you hooked me up here. So that's the kind of stuff we're looking at, okay? Everybody like that? Great. Okay. So that's enough for the iPad. Thank you, Steve Jobs. Rest in peace. I love it. Okay, so a couple more questions and let's play some games. Yes, you want to put the lights back on? Nobody wants to look at me in the dark, I don't think.
Hello, you said they're going to be connected internet, like, to share the high scores with each other? Is that a possibility of what you're doing?
Everything is possible, okay?
Well,
I never say never, and I think part of what makes the game fun is going to be internet connectivity between games, between players. I don't really know personally. I don't know that I really want to have online tournaments. I don't know if that's really a thing I'm into. I think it's a social thing where you need to be in the same room together, kind of thing. So I'm not a big proponent of that. But you know, if that develops and people want to do that, maybe the new crop of pinball players want to do that and they want to be connected. Remember, we're going to have sensors to make sure the glass is on the game and you're not sticking your hand in there and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know.
No, I was thinking that it seems like you're going after a market of people that want them at home too, because the way they raise their hand, they're not operators. They want them at home.
Well, who here is an operator that bought a game for the route? Okay, so here's one.
But you got like 30
There's
or 40.
one. Well, the percentage is going to be small because guess what? An operator is not going to buy this game because an operator needs to see. What you guys did was religion. You believed without seeing. Once they see now, believe me, Drew Maniscalco on Monday, his voicemail is going to be full of all distributors and operators around the country that want to buy a game. And I'm an operator, so if we have a location out there and they don't want to have a game, and the operator is willing I'll operate the game. I'll give the operator 5%, I'll give the location 30%, and I'll keep 65%. And the game will be set up with the credit card, no coins. The money will dump in my account at the end of the week, and then I'll wire the money to you, okay? And your responsibility for the 5% is fixing my game on location. Okay? That's how I'm going to operate pinball machines on location. And I'm happy to operate hundreds of them. Gee, that got everybody quiet. And again, you know, you guys, you might say, you know, this guy's crazy. Yeah, you know what? I am crazy because I'm an operator. And I'm a technician. I've done this stuff before. I created really great games with people, not alone, that make a lot of money. We got some really great. Is Bill Masterman here? Or he went to, I think he had to go to a wedding. He's bought some of our other games that we create. Hey, Eugene, how are you? Good. Yes?
How many video modes are there?
You know, I don't know. That's going to be Keith.
I mean, if you're talking in terms of just how many interactions with the screen, I mean, in terms of you using the flippers to play a game on the monitor, that's specifically what you classically know is like the teach you video mode or whatever, the answer is 0.
Yay!
Exactly, exactly. And again, you know, we want to be true to pinball, what pinball is. We're not trying to create a video game, but again, I want to have something that goes another level.
Yeah, the problem with video modes, especially, you know, when you're talking about full HD and that kind of thing, you know, it's like, it becomes a lot of work to balance and to, you know, just present it in a nice way. I mean, you have a certain expectation when you have a full HD screen up there. I mean, you know, go play Big Buck HD, you know, in the other room. I mean, that thing's freaking gorgeous, you know. And, you know, I was around for a little bit, you know, before I went over to Jack. And, you know, how it wound up, you know, just it blew away even what I was seeing back then. So, you know, you have an expectation that's not going to be real. I mean, the time it would take to make something that would meet your expectations it's almost ridiculous to spend it on a pinball machine in terms of, you know, what, yeah, the payback is not there for the amount of time you'd have to invest.
Right.
I guess basically.
And you know, you want to still stay true to what pinball is. We don't want to compete with Eugene on video games. He's got that locked up.
That's right.
Thank you, Eugene. I'll get my $5 when I leave the room. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You mentioned having an operator's perspective on this. I wonder, is the machine going to collect information about when times are hot to play? Is it going to phone home when things are broken on it? So like it's
everything's available because you're able to collect all kinds of data. You know, when it gets louder in the location, the game's going to get louder. When it gets lower in the location, it's going to get lower. The lights may dim when it's responsive to different things. I mean, we're going to do different things in game number 2 and 3 and 4. We're going to keep innovating. We're not going to stop. My foot's still on the gas pedal. I'm telling guys to add things. You know, last night I'm sending an email about something, and Joe says, "Listen, it's enough already. We got to build the game already." And you know, I know we're building the game already, but why not? Why not?
Although to that end, let me also interject here that you know, whereas the goal is to ship the game, you know, feature complete, game complete, and all that stuff, you know, we're going to come up with ideas down the road that, you know, as he's talking about. I mean, you know, I don't know that we're going to have, you know, hourly controlled volume right off the bat. You know,
right.
That's maybe more of a version 2.0 kind of feature.
Right.
But, you know, we're going to update games, you know, with these new features that we come up with down the road. You know, not necessarily finishing wizard modes.
And a number of these features we've applied for patents for and different ideas, and certainly things in this room that I'll talk about publicly, they're in process already or complete. We're not talking about pie in the sky kind of stuff. We're not putting a helicopter propeller thing on there and make it fly around. You know, so, yes?
If you end up playing Dark Side of the Moon when you pull your first ball, will it match up with gameplay?
I don't know. I don't think so. Nice, cool T-shirt. Now I know. You know, I was there last night. Very cool place, great place, and really, there was a kid, you know, with his head in the pinball machine, and I walked over to him, and we were upstairs, me, Keith, and Steve White. And I went up to him and I said, "Man, your games look really beautiful." And the guy goes, "Jersey Jack, I know!" Like, oh, wow. And Steve White was like, "The guy knew you." And I'm like, yeah, my head's still got to fit through the door. When I go home, Joanne's got garbage for me to take out front, so I'm still trying to keep it real. Yes?
Hi. Well, as a representative of the south part of America, which I love the north much better than the south, you said you wanted to go worldwide. How many languages it's going to be available at the start? How many will become available? And what are the regions that you're interested to go? How about Japan or China? Or which, I mean, how far you want to take this in your own word?
We have worldwide rights to sell the game. So the game, there's only one version of the game. The game's RoHS compliant, and it can go anywhere. So I'm not going to try to control the world marketplace. If you plug it into 50 hertz or 60 hertz or whatever you're going to do, the game should go everywhere. And we have orders, Australia, our distributor ordered more than 150 games. In Canada, our distributor ordered more than 150 games. Germany, Belgium, France, Italy. I'm going to go to all those countries. Certainly any place where people want to play pinball, we want to sell pinball machines. That's what we want to do. And we're going to do titles that appeal to everybody in the world. We're not going to be pigeonholed to a certain kind of thing. We're not just going to do movies. We're not just going to do games that are licensed. We're going to develop games that are theme game without a license. So if I spend $150,000 for a license, thank you. I'm here all week. Try to veal. So tip your waitress. So that's that part of it. And you in your country, tu parles italiano or habla español, un parle français, express un beetje Nederlands. We'll do it all. We'll go there. We'll do it. Exactly.
We need to take the pachinko market out.
Okay. Somebody get this guy out of here. With security, this guy out of here. He was stalking me before. No, that's good. I appreciate it. Mi amigo.
I'm just a fanboy.
I know. He's a fanboy. Welcome to the club. You're right behind Gary Flower.
Hey, Jack. You talked a lot about making it more serviceable, easier to service. Can you talk just a few things about that without revealing too much?
Well, no.
Also,
yeah, go ahead.
Can I be the first play?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Can I be the first
My
play?
wife always, can you get the first play? Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Somebody bid $50 for the first play, so we'll just knock that person out. Buyer ought to get the first play. Oh, you get the first play from a non-buyer. I don't know. I'm only teasing. Whoever runs up there first gets the first play. They punch each other out. Yeah, we have to hawk the raffle tickets again, or else they don't pay for my hotel if I don't hawk that stuff. And they have me at the Ritz-Carlton, so I gotta take care of that. I shared a room with Keith last night. Did I snore? You were dead to the world, man. You wouldn't know if a bomb went off. No, we were exhausted driving up yesterday, 11 hours yesterday from Redding, California. Anybody else? Okay, let me tell you about the service part of it. John Donzilla, who's our engineer, John's a great game guy. He's been in this industry about 35 years. He designed the boards in this game. And the I/O board is not constructed with surface mount technology. It's constructed with through-hole, okay? And the parts on it are not going to be dead-ended. So when I'm dead and buried in 50, 60 years and somebody wants to fix the game, they're going to be able to find parts, okay, to fix the game. The chips that are on that I/O board, they plug in and out of sockets. The LEDs in the game are the absolute most expensive LEDs you can buy on planet Earth. That's what's in the game. They are going to last a really long, like years and years. We're running them at about, 26% power right now. So, this is something that we're not driving. If we bought cheap junk, we'd have to drive it really hard, and it's going to crap out. Warranty on the game is measured in years, not in days or months. So standard warranty is a year. Through your distributor, you're going to be able to get a 2-year or a 3-year warranty. And whether they sell it or they give it to you up in there is going to be something different. Obviously, my name's on the company, and if need be, whatever the game needs, whoever's game needs, out of warranty, in warranty, whatever you need, I'm going to make sure your game works. If I have to come to your house and fix it myself, I've done it. It don't matter to me. Whatever needs to be done, we're going to make sure the games work. Okay? So that part of it. All the boards are in the body of the game, and you know, the power supply, transformer, everything's in the body of the game, and in the head of the game, basically, you have the speakers and the LCD and a light. There are no light bulbs in the game, by the way, so we tried to go, we tried to do everything in an efficient way for service people, and we looked at it a lot of different ways, and we came up, you know, with a lot of different compromises that really work for this game. And you know, it doesn't mean that we're going to build a wide body game number 2 or game number 3 or game number 4. We did everything in a certain way where Joe designed these things where it can be adapted, wide body, standard, you know, so pretty good. Anyone else? I know you guys, you want to play the game, probably, right? Yes. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. So, let's do that. You know, it's about 7:15, so we have about, trying to think, you know, so by about 8 o'clock or so, we're going to wrap things up, and Keith and I need to be heading to the airport because we're on like the 11:30 flight out tonight. We get to Chicago like 5 in the morning. I get home Monday, right? Don't really cry for me or run a bazaar or anything like that, but Monday I get home, and then Tuesday I go to Italy for 2 weeks with the family, like 12 of us on vacation. So it's not a bad thing. So June is gone for me, and all these guys better do a lot of stuff when I get back. So
When do you get back?
if I come back, yeah, I'm sure I'll be back. You know, I have to meet. I'm meeting with an Italian distributor over there too. So not that I'm writing the trip off for that reason. No, I know all the accountants in the room. You know, we're meeting with 2 different people out there when I'm out there, when I'm in Rome and another part of Italy. So yes.
I think I have the biggest question here. When are you going to ship?
Okay, so you know, I would say late summer is a good time to ship, and you know, summer is August. You know, we're a good amount of games. You know, we have 3 of these right now. In a couple weeks, we'll have more, and then we're going to put them down the Jersey Shore. We're going to put them in iPlay America, which is an amusement center I'm involved with, in Freehold, New Jersey. We'll get one out in Chicago. I want to get a later one out to Marvin's Mechanical Museum. You know, so we'll roll them out, and then you know there'll be production games. God bless you, and all that stuff too. Yes.
Hello. I got 2 questions. When Eugene Jarvis was talking about Atari putting boards in the bottom of the game, he said screws would just fall into the boards and screw everything up. So obviously, you've thought about that.
Yeah, you know, wood's different today, and screws are different too. You know, and the boards are covered.
That's
you know, things happen, and we try to study history, and we try to learn from that when we design new things. So you know, can anything happen? You know, if it's not broken, it's not pinball probably. So, you know, we're gonna try to make sure it's working more than it's broken, and you know, we're gonna learn more stuff. I'm gonna be standing here in front of you guys next year, and I'm gonna be a lot smarter than I am now. And what I've done with the people in our company, I believe I've hired really the best people, and I've gotten out of their way, and I let them do what they do best, and I don't mind being the dumbest guy in the room, learning things. So, you know, if we find out we did something wrong, we're going to make it right. You know.
So the other question is what
Who said you could ask another question?
Well, I said I had 2.
Oh, okay.
What order are you shipping games in?
I'm sorry?
What order are you going to ship the games in?
Games get shipped in the order they were bought. So if you bought early, you know, January 9th, 2011, the first people bought games. That day, 127 people ordered a game. PayPal closed my account. The next day, they opened it again, and 112 people ordered a game, and PayPal closed my account. And I don't have a PayPal account anymore, by the way. So.
Could you talk a little bit about the hardware, CPUs? Is there a hard drive for the videos? Is it solid state? Do you use an OS like Linux?
Anything about that?
Yeah, I mean,
It's a standard off-the-shelf motherboard. It'll be running Linux, and there's a solid-state drive, no hard drive. That's probably about as much as I'm going to tell you right now.
You know, for those taking notes, this is broadcast live and you could watch it again, so you really don't have to write a lot of stuff down. I'll be happy to answer any questions for anybody. Yes, sir. You know, there was a funny thing about that. We were licensing a game to do a redemption game, and Drew, who does all licensing, was talking to people he's friendly with at Warner Brothers, and they sent over a whole list of titles they had, and I looked at, 20 titles, which are amazing, and The Wizard of Oz was on there, and I called up Drew and I said, get me The Wizard of Oz. And his response was, really? So he'll never live that down. To me, again, as I said earlier, it's a timeless, evergreen theme that appeals to women. Why would you make games that only appeal to men and eliminate the smarter part of the population from the mix? Why would you do? My wife's not here, but I'm pretty sure she's listening live. So one of my other favorite sayings is, a happy wife is a happy life. So I married my high school sweetheart, who I know since 15 years old, and we're only married 29 years. So I just say those things, they just come out, She's still my sweetheart. So yeah, so that's why. Because. Yes, sir.
Just wanted to say it's a beautiful game, sir.
Thank you.
And I'm sure everyone here is eager to play it. Just wanted to make sure that whenever we do get to play it, if we could get the camera guy so everybody can see the
okay,
the
that's
action,
a cool idea.
That'd be awesome, because otherwise it's too much tension. I won't be able to handle it.
This game, we had a glitch with it. We had a glitch with it at E3 in the shipping and everything. I don't know. I got a ground issue, or I have a shield issue, and I didn't want to start screwing with it. I brought extra power supplies, extra boards, this, that, and everything. But I know one thing, being a technician for 37 years, it's working for the most part. And if I screw with it and it don't work at all, that's worse than it working for the most part. So I kind of left it alone. So if it does go off, we'll do something. We'll just get it back up and running. But she's been really good. She's been really good. So. Anybody else? Okay. So again, I want to just thank all of you for being part of the journey. That's been the reward. I want to really thank God, because without God, I'm really not able to do anything. And I want to just tell everybody one other thing. If you believe you can do something, okay, and you work really hard with all your heart and all your passion and all your dedication, okay, you can make anything happen. Anything at all. People are going to tell you you're crazy, you can't do it, all kinds of bad things. Don't feed into the negativity. Be positive, surround yourself with wonderful people that you can trust, that want to work as hard as you want to work, and believe in what you can do. You're going to do it. You know why? Because there's proof right there. There's a brand new mechanical commercial pinball machine on the face of the earth from a new manufacturer. No doubt. This has been some love fest, I'm sure when we ship the first game, there'll be problems. So, whatever the problems are, we'll solve them. The honeymoon's over. I got my game in it, whatever. I didn't like the topper. I wanted this, I wanted that. Oh, the other question I get, I just want to say one other thing. The other question I get from everybody, aside from when is it shipping, how do you deal with those people on your news group?
Exactly.
And I'm one of those crazy people, so I understand them, so I deal with them pretty well. So, how are we going to do this? It's going to be, oh wait, I got another thing going on. So there's shirts here. Usually this is kind of like the tradition too. We do shirts. So I don't know, come up to the front and just, I don't know how you're going to do it. There's not going to be a shirt for everybody. It's not loaves and fishes. So, you're gonna have to do this, or I'm going to throw them around. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. All right. Okay. Yes.
Quick question. I saw jackpot was 815 or 315 or something. Is that the actual points for jackpot?
No, that's just a. It's going to be a low-scoring game, but that was just it's going to be a low-scoring game. I didn't say that, but that's just a placeholder. Well, that went fairly well. Thank you. Thank you. I love it. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, what video were you asking me about?
I'm only teasing. I was only teasing. I know. Hello. Good. This is off. You want this back? Thank you. Quick. I did in my little toes. Anybody have a black Sharpie? It's like, let's make a deal. Somebody have a black Sharpie?